Hi, good afternoon, everyone. So, we are here together for this panel discussion today with University Industry Partnerships, co designing micro credentials for tomorrow's workforce. I would welcome all our esteemed panelists. I would just like to introduce myself. I'm Puja Banerjee. I'm the Senior Assistant Editor for Elets Technomedia. I would like to start with this topic with your opening remarks each. I would go to Dr. Vandana Mishra. If you could please tell about a little bit about the opening topic today, your remark.
And so, for the yes,
Yeah. So thank you so much, Pooja, for having us be a part of this lovely conversation. I think the topic is very interesting and it's very close to the heart of educationists today. Micro credentials today are the buzzword, I would say. Having said that, micro credentials form a bridge between the industry and academia. It is the need of the hour in order to make sure that they create an environment for the student as well as for an industry to understand the requirements per se, the students as well as the industry. It is very important to highlight to a student or bring across to a student through these micro credentials or these small units of educational credits that we add into the teaching learning curriculum, which not just only give him an idea about discipline centric features that a child needs to understand, but some also very important aspects of the professional development that a child needs to undergo, which are the need of the hour of the industry. Having said that, the plus point from the student perspective is that he gets prepared for the market. He gets prepared for a better future in the industry. The moment he enters into the industry, he gets an opportunity to highlight the skills that he has acquired through these micro credentials, and he has an upper edge to the others who are there with him. However, from the industry's perspective, I believe that it makes it very easier for the industry to understand that an individual has all those skills and qualities that they are actually looking out for their future employees. And it's a win-win situation both ways for the industry as well as, the students. I'm sure I have my lovely colleagues ahead. They will add to this and we'll have a lovely interaction through this discussion. Thank you. Thank you so much. I would like to go along to Dr. Kamaljeet. If you could talk about your opening remarks on this topic today.
I had been in the industry this side for almost 17 years of my career. So while I was hiring, I always went to the academia and requested them that after you give your students to me, I have to spend almost 6 months in again introducing them and teaching them. Even, for example, taking an HR executive who doesn't know Excel. So teaching them even basic software was a waste of my time in the industry. So while I'm here in this part, I feel that we definitely have to work on our students, give them a array of options to choose from. Because again, when I am compelling some students to take up certain courses, some of them are very blunt to say that, Madam, I don't want to go to SAP related industries. I want to try something else. So we have to give them a lot of options. So I think it's very, very important that we fine tune this. And sometimes, though we compel our students to take up certain skills, but giving them a lot of choices is something which is going to be the key. Because whatever we force them that do this, do that, doesn't work all the time. So I feel that, yes, it's very much needed. Micro-credentials are like giving them an edge, a superpower. But at the same time, we will have to create a basket of micro-credentials and not just few. That is going to be the real challenge. Thank you.
True, very. Moving on to Mr. Jitendra Patil, if you would talk a little bit about your opening remarks today.
Hello, good afternoon. We always talk about industry-academia collaborations, but many a times it's very difficult to collaborate with the industries. In such forums where industries are present, they say we can collaborate. I have been in the education industry from 27 years. But when we approach them after the events, we don't get good response from the industry. That's a fact. That's a fact. Now, I would like to tell you my experience which we have implemented in our campus for basically civil fraternity students. What happens today, the entire industry is dominated by IT and everybody wants to work in a Silicon Valley. So if you compare the pay packages of civil engineering as compared to the IT, it's a huge gap. The minimum pay package what IT people get is 2.5 lakhs to 3.5 lakhs, whereas the maximum pay package civil people gets is 1 lakh of rupees per annum, I'm talking about. So it's basically depressing. And now if you see what happens in the engineering colleges, the core branches like mechanical, civil students are not ready to take the admissions. So what we did, we had collaborated with the industry. Basically, it came from industries. 3 industries, SACPL, Sterling Engineering, and former design companies. They said that, as Madam said, that they need to again invest 6 to 1 year time to the past graduate trainees. So these people said that our target is to increase the pay package of the civil fraternity students. That was our basically motto. So what is required in the industry, they designed the syllabus and they gave the teachers to train that syllabus in the campus for the batches, and we run this for pilot 2 batches of 84 students. And I'm very happy to say that we did well, and we could place the students almost 6 lakh of package per annum. Not all, but 50% of the batch has got placed. But it doesn't happen many times. So it is required, basically. What is required in the industry is required. Now, since we are affiliated college, it's very difficult to again match up with the syllabus. So we need to invest more time. We go beyond the syllabus and work on. Now we have also started with Skill Tech University, where we are designing this curriculum in such a way that 6 months to 1 year OJT, that is on-job training. If the students get that, they can learn and collaborate directly with the industries, maybe with the live projects or any internship kind of thing, and the placement can happen. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Moving on to Dr. Jayesh Joglekar, if you could talk about your opening remark.
Yes, I represent academics. And whenever we talk about the micro credentials or micro credits, there was one wonderful article wrote by UGC chairman in the News Daily on 5th November. And he emphasized that micro credentials are the next way by which you can tell the student and give the entire platter in front of the student what they want to learn. And not only learn, those credits should be earned. But the problem is about the trust. Now, when you're kept open the way by which you can earn the credit from different industries, from different platforms, from different websites, how you can trust that? For example, after pandemic, you must have seen that there are n number of online platforms available which are providing basic Excel, advanced Excel, or maybe Office, MS Office, and all such type of things. But whatever the certificates they are getting and whatever the assessment scheme they are running with are very different than whatever the traditional one. Second most important part is that as per the UNESCO report for the Education 2030, they say that ki micro-credential nowadays are stick to a brand value. If you have a good brand value for your university, of your higher education institute, or maybe your online platform like Coursera and upscale upgrades likewise, then your micro-credentials also holds a good value in the market, in the career market or in the industry. So micro-credentials are the need of the hour for the educational industries. That is one thing. But the way by which you implement those, the way by which you assess those, and the way by which you award those are the very important thing to discuss on.
Absolutely. So moving on to Dr. Vandana, I would like to ask you that skills are very important now for the students. And your take, I want to understand that what are the industry looking for skills, for the skills of the students, and what are the universities providing for the same? The amalgamation, basically, I wanted to ask.
Yeah, I shall answer that question of yours, but I would just, before I answer that, I would just like to give a different perspective to all that we are talking and my lovely colleagues are talking. You know what? We need to change our mindset. I think as visionaries or as academicians or as academic leaders, are we really working in or preparing workers for factories? Are you really looking out for having students come out of your institutions and work in another factory and you are very happy that they are employed? Sorry, I'm of a different opinion. I come from a university where we are not preparing workers for factories. We are preparing visionaries, we are preparing policymakers, we are preparing leaders, we are preparing entrepreneurs. When I say that, I mean to say the whole purpose of me utilizing micro-credentials is from the point of view that it's not just industry-centric or discipline-centric teaching, learning that I want to impart in my student. I don't want to prepare my student only for a Tata consultancy services, or I don't want to prepare my student only for, Procter and Gamble. I want to prepare an individual who has his own independent thinking, where an individual can make policies, take decisions, become the leader, be the visionary, be an active entrepreneur, be a startup. I'm sorry, but India has been known for quite some years as a service oriented industry. We should now change. We are not preparing our students and they start working in industry, be it national or international. We as academicians need to prepare our students to themselves be as owners of companies, be the CEOs of their own companies. We should promote Startup India. And I think that's the whole concept of NEP. Imparting this, electives or what we, we say that micro-credentials, it's not per se a particular syllabus. It's not per se a particular discipline. You need to inculcate in a student an interest, not only for discipline, but critical thinking, decision-making, team working, people management. I think today what is very, very important is people management, communication skills, your marketing scale, sales skills. And this doesn't have a defined curriculum. It's all that you learn out of your interest and, your experiences. Wherein now, answering to Puja, your question, how, academics and industry can collaborate, I would say I don't want to give my child a fixed curriculum and then say, you learn this, now you go in this industry. What I want to do is, I want to give him an experience of being a part of some capstone projects or be a part of some industry where he experiences various parameters of handling situations. So these come through case study teaching methodology, these come through simulation activities, these come through simulation games, these come through giving them live projects. I think that's the whole perspective of academicians to change through, rather than giving them a fixed per se curriculum and prepare them from one factory to another factory. That's what I feel.
Absolutely, very rightly said, and it is very important, like the kind of skills and to be developed, and to for the academicians to develop the students accordingly, so that they can gel in any kind of industry they want. So it is very important. Yes, sure, please.
If you've already created something, and you've created something, you are producing more people to create the same thing. Where is innovation happening? Where are you giving the child or the student's mind to think on his own? You are telling him, this is it, you prepare this, this is the final product. I don't want to do that. I want him to think on his own. I wanted him derive something new strategies. That's where the growth of India will happen. That's what I feel. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Moving on now to, I think we have Dr. Kamalji. So I would like to ask you this question: that what are the best practices that have emerged from successful university industry partnerships in developing micro-credentials?
Like in our university, we have a lot of center of excellence, like KPIT Center of Excellence, where they themselves came forward because they had a project in which they needed a group of students, around 28 students. So they came forward. We sent our faculties in the trainer programs, and with the Center of Excellence, they are now having students. And we also got a better package than the regular package, because they saved on their timings as well as we saved on our timings. The last semester usually in most of the universities is for internships and placements. So from this year, we have started that in the third year itself. So we have tweaked our curriculum a bit to ensure that most of the students who actually qualify for these Center of Excellence programs do micro-credentials which are tweaked to those industries. And just to add to what ma'am is saying, yes, there are some group of bright students who deserve something else. So for them, they are now being mentored by a chairman who is himself a very tech guy. So they are working on a live helicopter project. So where they are working on Bell helicopter, and we intend to come with the prototype very soon in next 3 months, and maybe in future, if we get a good funding, maybe we will start doing some real helicopter, maybe something like that. Just yesterday, we signed a MOU with Dilip Chabria to mentor our students, where he has said that he will handpick 3 students and they will come with their own cars. So it all depends on you tying up with such people, because for making visionary, you will need visionaries to train them. Most of our faculties are not equipped to even, I know the students of today's generation come with so much of knowledge that most of the times I feel my faculty are not equipped to teach them. So that is also a big challenge. In fact, when KPIT started the Center of Excellence, I sent 2 faculty, one of them resigned on the way. And then I had to again do the paperwork of sending another faculty. So somewhere I think it is also the faculty which is going to be a challenge, because yes, students are really they are geared up for these kind of opportunities. Industry is also ready to come forward, but somewhere we don't have the right hands to groom these particular students. Thank you.
Absolutely. So over to you. I'll just ask you this, that how do institutions measure the effectiveness and impact of their micro-credential offerings on workforce readiness, basically?
Hello. It's basically, we always make the curriculum as micro-credentials, etc. But many times in the education industries, it happens only teaching, not the learning. the learning happens, as both the madam said, the learning happens based on the interests of the students and in its core competency. Now, every institution has a center of excellence, okay, either of SAP or the many companies are doing under the CSR activities. We did it with Honeywell, now we are doing with SAP, etc. We also have a lab in association with IIT Bombay called E-Yantra Lab. Okay. Now, this is all beyond the curriculum because affiliated colleges, you need to run with the program which is designed by the University of Mumbai. So, all these courses where the students have their own interest to learn, they participate. They have to give more time to it. One of our student, basically as Vandana madam said that you need to produce the startups. Okay. So, this generation is a smart generation and they have got many ideas. Around 100 to 150 students in my college have their own startups. This is small startups. Some people develop websites, some do digital marketing. And one of our students has pitched his idea when he was in second year and he got 1 crore of funding. He left engineering and started his office. He joined because he is working on his core competency. So I would say that it should be, learning should happen. And learning will happen only when the students are interested in his own interest area. At the same time, there also has to be trainer programs. We need to train our faculties because faculties are also not equipped with the skills what industry needs. And of course, that problem is always faced when the faculty resigns. Again, you need to train the new faculty that's there because you are enhancing its quality. If you want to retain, you again need to increase its pay package also. So there's again a challenge for we as head of the institutions for retention policy. But trainer programs works very well, and this is how we can train our students. Thank you.
Right. So to you, what role do the industry experts play in co-designing micro-credentials and how are the involvement it can be enhanced?
Yes. As I told earlier also that whatever the micro-credentials you are designing or offering need to have a particular essence which the student may like. And here the industry plays an extremely important role because whatever the current technology is there, whatever the current infrastructure is there, or whatever current laboratory platforms are there, those are with the industries. And when the industries are taking a lead in creating such micro-credentials along with the university, then it will be a win-win situation for the student also, because with those micro-credentials, industry can offer the technology to that particular student, and degree can be offered by, or that certificate can be offered by the university with the whatever its assessment and grading pattern. So with this, the student and that industry as well as the university, these three will have a common benefit. In the micro-credential, it was said that there's three, that is industry who offer the credentials, student who learn the credential, and university or higher education institutes who awarded the degrees are the three main pillars of these micro-credentials. Thank you.
Puja, if you allow me to add something. Today it's a lovely topic. We're talking about the importance of micro-credentials and how these micro-credentials are important both for bridging the gap between industry and academia and how they benefit us. I'm sure the next year or 6 months, we will be discussing on a topic on saying that who is going to accredit these micro-credentials. With so many industries, so many institutions, everyone on this platform itself, we are 4 of us, and everybody wishes to highlight that, we are offering something which is amazing and the other industry is offering. Tomorrow, we are talking about global perspectives and global job opportunities for our students. What is the future tomorrow? Who's going to accredit which student has acquired the best electives or curriculum or the teaching methodology? How are the industries when you are at the interviewing board and you've got some 50 students sitting, and every 50 student, because looking at the kind of the whole per se of importance of micro credentials that everybody today is giving, I'm sure tomorrow we'll have every student carrying 1 certifications and extra 5 to 6 electives with them. Then how does the industry decide that which has to be rated? So tomorrow the topic will be the accreditation or giving weightage or validating these micro credentials. I think that's also very, very important. So primarily, I feel the micro-credentials importance per se is the importance of giving the student an upper edge and an extra information about a particular industry. However, the duration of these micro-credentials does not really cover the entire curriculum of that particular industry or discipline or area. So that limited information cannot make an individual really so industry ready that he can compete tomorrow. These are just little add-ons that you add to a teaching learning of a particular student to make the curriculum attractive, to give him a industry perspective, and to also tell him these are the areas of where you need to be future ready. I think that's the whole role of micro-credentials today.
Absolutely.
I just wanted to ask, add one thing in this, that accreditation of these micro credentials are important, but there are already a few regulators which plays an important role. For example, if you go with the SWAYAM courses, then SWAYAM and SWAYAM Plus courses are already regulated by the UGC or IITs or other regulatory bodies, and they are offering the good micro credentials to the student. And not only that, I just wanted to highlight the importance of academic bank of credit also. Whenever the student earns such type of credits, those credits will be automatically get credited in his account, and definitely it will be helpful for the student at the end of his career or at the end of his study, so that he can face the good interview. These SWAYAM courses or SWAYAM Plus courses, which has already regulated, they directly adding those credits to the student, and that will get the most benefit to the students.
So lovely. I understand just one. Before this, we had a panel where Dr. Prabhat Ranjan said that you cannot have one body sitting and deciding the curriculum for north, south, east, west of India. There has to be a freedom given to, people to decide their micro-credentials and their curriculum. And you cannot have one central body sitting and deciding the curriculum. So I think it is also, it's like... it's a situation where we need to understand the need of the hour, the interest of the student, the global perspective, and I think the competitiveness in the market, and that's how the whole micro credentials perspective will be. Yes, we do have national programs like the SWAYAM portal and NPTEL and all. But then, however, still, there are a lot of perspective which still needs to be covered. And I think that at an individual basis, universities, states, cities, regions, areas, zones are good to probably take a call on that. However, that's again a point of discussion.
Along with the certifications also, industry also looks at the social adaptability of the students. So his interest in curricular and co-curricular activities as a skills also plays very important role. That's why they have the group discussions, okay? Because you need to work in a team. Today it's a project-based team. All different types of areas students collaborate and put up on one project. So how you are adaptable with the group is also, that skill is also very important. I would like to highlight one of my student who was very average in the studies, 60%, but she is having many curricular and co-curricular certificates. She got 90% of scholarship for her MS program. So that's weightage given to those skills also. So that also has to be taken into considerations. Fine.
I agree to that. And I was just about to ask this question to all our panelists today about competition. And how can universities address the competition which is posed by private providers in the micro-credential space? Ma'am, I'll just start with you with this.
So you were asking me that how universities can actually look into the competition that these private institutions or bodies which are offering these micro credentials. I think at the end of the day, every university or every individual for that matter, let me not confine it just to the university. What is it that you are aiming for preparing the future of tomorrow? What is the definition of you as an individual, as an academician, as a visionary, as a leader? What are you looking at the future generation tomorrow? So, basis that, I think it is very important for you to give that kind of a skill set to an individual. As Sir said, that it is also very important that you have the social adaptability. I think discipline-specific skill sets being offered by industries or organizations are good to go for students who are clear-cut in their mindsets of having an academic structure to their teaching learning. However, if you have a broader vision of your career, where you're looking at being the CEO or of your own company, I am saying the CEO of your own company, I think there are other different skill sets that you're looking at, and that is something most important is people management. So there are industry partners that emphasize on teaching learning through case studies, where they give emphasis on team building, they give emphasis on social adaptability, they give emphasis on personality development, communication skills. They give you an importance of entrepreneurship, innovation, research. So the basis of what you are actually looking at is where you make a choice for yourself. I would once again repeat, if your vision is to transfer students from one factory to the other factory, there are people and providers giving you discipline-centric, curriculum which is particular per se to a discipline. However, if you are preparing the global leaders of tomorrow, if you are preparing people who can talk on competitive topics, who can address the issues, the global issues, I think there's a different market altogether for those kind of skill sets. And there are people in the market who offer you that kind of an experiences which you can offer not only to your students, but as ma'am rightly said, for your faculties as well, because it's the whole environment, it's the whole thought process, it's the entire teaching learning methodology that needs to be changed to bring about that massive change.
Correct.
Earlier we used to do the consultancy with the industries, with the faculties, basically in civil and mechanical. Now that part has gone. That part is reduced. So the skill base or industry collaboration has reduced a lot. Okay. And you can motivate the startups. You can make the startups at any age. Kesari Patil started Kesari Tours and Travels at the age of 55. Today it's globally known. Okay. So motivating the startups is important.
I just wanted to add that whatever the good practices or the best practices the university can adopt with, but however the micro credentials are only depend upon the way by which the student is thinking in his particular career about. Take an example of you itself. You are doing the good anchoring over here. You are having a good mentoring for this entire panel. Those skills are inculcated inside you and you are using those skills. Have you got the credits of that? Of course, at the end of the program, maybe your manager will say very good or something like that. But those credits are the credits which you should have, because those are the skill which you are earned already with some training or some mentoring or something like that. So in this way, whatever the student are taking the knowledge of, and they think that they are knowing, should be assessed somewhere, and then only those credit will be given to those students. And the micro credits may not be a fractional credit, it may be a 1 credit, 2 credit, depending upon the need of that particular curriculum or the need of that program. And I just want to highlight one thing is that micro credits are not the part of that entire curriculum, those are add-ons. and those add-ons should be complement to that particular program.
It's just one challenge to add to this. You know what? I would just like to tell you one thing. I think the electives or the micro-credentials, the whole perspective is to draw your attention to other areas of interest that a student has. We have a lovely alumnus of the D.Y. Patil University. He is a Grammy Award recipient, Shankar Mahadevan. He has done his engineering from the D.Y. Patil deemed to be University, Navi, Mumbai in the year 1983. And engineering was where he got himself admitted to pursue an engineering degree. But today, if you see, he's made his career into music. And I think way back, 40 years back, the university has had a vision of not just making these micro-credentials or these electives 40 years back, also not specific to a discipline, because we believe that every individual in the near future can have career prospects where your areas of interest matter. And I think our alumni, Shankar Mahadevan, has proved that he had an engineering degree. However, he's made a career in music. So I think that's the whole perspective of these electives and micro-credentials, to draw the attention of students of where your interest really lies, irrespective of where you have been admitted to. There can be diverse areas of interest where you can make your career into. That's the thought. Thank you.
Since you were asking that are we competing with each other? So I would say, though, it's a symbiotic relationship and we complement each other. We are not competing, because you really can't put everything in that degree course. So, and since I started with the statement that we need to give an array and choice to the students to pick what they want their career to be. Like Madam also mentioned that if somebody is really interested in music, third year ENTC student has opted that he wants to start his own orchestra brand. And he is not in the classroom. So my one of my head of the departments came to me and said that I'm not going to allow him to sit for the exams because his attendance is below the acceptable standards. But I said, is he ready to give the exam? He said, yes. I said, then let him give, because our objective is not to assess only the attendance. If he has taken out the time to study while he was also busy developing his business, we need to give that freedom. So somewhere I think as universities, we need to give some flexibilities to these kind of talents, groom them, give them the support so that they develop as an individual, because we might be having many Sachin Tendulkar, Lata Mangeshkar, Shankar Mahadevan hidden in all the universities and colleges. Only thing is we need to not make them engineers by force, but engineers by choice, and of course musicians or cricketers by choice. So I think we need to groom them. If that particular person, or because of his parents' force, has accidentally landed in an engineering college or a medical college, don't force that person to lose the charm or hidden talent that particular person has. So I think micro-credentials should be used as choices, like spices on your pizza. What topping you want, you can decide on that. Thank you.
I just want to add one thing in that. Although the colleges has glorious alumni, maybe Shankar Mahadevan also, which micro-credential he earned in his college? It was not. So to create such students, or maybe all could be equivalent to Shankar Mahadevan with his practice and with his skill set. Now, what I would like to tell that in our university, the BSc Mathematics or BSc Statistics student also want to take a micro-credential in tabla, in Kathak, and that is allowed. And students are doing it by managing, balancing their main curriculum also and the credentials which he is earning. And that earned credit, he make the program also. So if that flexibility is given by the university, definitely someday all Shankar Mahadevans will be from the universities. Thank you.
Really look forward that City has Shankar Mahadevan. It's really a big pride to India and to the DY Patil. And having said that, I would just want to say that 40 years back, 1983, when the legacy of the DY Patil was started, the concept formally did not come as micro-credentials. However, the environment that was given to the students from 40 years back till date is of offering them subjects of their choice. That's the whole concept to giving the idea of having micro credentials. It's today, after 40 years, we are formally talking about electives, but there are some institutions where the environment is for the students, by the students.
So if anybody else wants to add to this question, so I can just move on to the next. So I think like to conclude, like it is a blend of both. Like we need to, it is from the student side as well, from the university academic side as well, and keeping in mind the industry perspectives, their point of views, and in any which profession the student wants to go, the student wants to choose. I think it is a blend of both to mix up, and I think the new strategy of education has changed since even I am also from the 90s batch. So like the educational system has also changed from us, from our end, from our years back then. So India is definitely progressing, and I think we need to adapt a few definite changes from the, especially after COVID, the startup ideas has been boomed. It has been influenced a lot, and it is going absolutely great. And so is the industry works, which is being done by the students. They are joining other firms and they are working. So I would just like to ask my panelists today, your point of view and what future foresee you see as your concluding remark for this very interesting topic today. If I can start. Okay, you can start, sir.
May I, ma'am?
Yes, please.
To conclude that, I just wanted to tell that the micro-credentials as a new buzzword, there is a mushroom growth in the credentials or the courses available in the market. Now the matter is what credentials you want to take, and what is a way by which you can assess those. So assessment of that credentials and who offered that and how they are having their assessment and grading is the most important, whereas the liking of the student for that micro-credential is also an important part. So industry, student and university or any higher education institute are the pillars of these micro-credentials.
So just to add to this, I feel that sometimes like one of my friend did his PMP recently. Okay, he is 10 years in the industry, and I was sitting with him. He was sitting with me in one such conference, and he was just going through the, we have to add those credit hours, and I could see that he was hardly going through it. It was just getting scrolled and all that, and he got those hours. So somewhere I feel that though we trust them and we feel that yes, there is a proper system of assessment, but I am skeptical about the assessment methodologies. And sometimes when you are in the industry, you will have to really put them to test whether that particular student has really earned it, has the proper knowledge, or are they just paper certificates. So I think it is for the industry to test. The litmus paper is with them. So as far as universities are concerned, I think we as academic partners, we definitely have a robust system of assessment. So I think in times to come, maybe universities will have a proper department where we will be having some system of assessing these micro-credentials. And when we are putting them in our students' CV, we will also be able to vouch for it. Like SAP programs, Center of Excellence programs, they are assessed at the university level. So I think they are more trustworthy than some random, website like he mentioned. So credibility is very, very important. Those program partners who really have good assessment practices, I think they are the ones who will survive, the rest will perish. Thank you.
Absolutely. Moving on, ma'am, if you would like to.
Sure. For these micro-credentials, the new education policy is also supporting. I would also add one point. It's not only industry and academia collaboration. There should be collaboration between the universities and between the colleges also. Because every college cannot have the infrastructure for all the electives, etc. If we can share the resources, it would be great. And it would be helpful to the entire academia, industry and the stakeholders.
Thank you. I feel, education is a very holy cause. We are the ones who are, who have in our hands, we take the responsibility of building the future of tomorrow. As sir rightly said, it is very important that we do not work in isolations and we interact amongst ourselves before, discussing on the importance of micro-credentials. It's also very important that we all sit together and understand the need of the hour. What does the industry require? And as educators, we do a lot of brainstorming amongst ourselves. What are my plus or what is the other universities plus? We sit together, put it on a platter, and then see how best we can offer to our students to make them future ready. I wouldn't say industry ready, but them future ready. And once, multidisciplinary concept and multi-university concept, multi-teaching learning concept is imbibed, I think the whole purpose of offering a quality education to prepare the global leaders of tomorrow will be resolved. And this whole discussion on the importance of micro-credentials and its importance will be resolved. Thank you so much. Lovely interacting.
Thank you so much. Over to you, Iqbal.